How's it going, everyone? My name is BQ, and we're gonna do something different. We're gonna take, I think it's called an NEGR quiz. This quiz is a quiz that kind of tells you who you are as a person. Now, I've already taken this quiz a while ago, but I saw it again and I thought to myself, would I still get the exact same answers? And pretty much you will find these type of quizzes if you live in America, mostly if you're in high school and you are trying to find a job. I think, at least for me, my school sat everyone in my grade and said, here, take this test, and this test will tell you who you are as a person, and it will tell you which job you are best suited for. Which that was not always the case. So if you want to take this quiz for yourself, I would highly recommend it. It really speaks volumes about yourself, and it's pretty interesting. I will link a description. No, I will. I will leave a link down in the description below. Why do so many people have trouble with that? That's just a weird phrasing. You find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people. I would highly have to disagree. I'm a very outgoing person. If I even see someone with a t-shirt that has something that I know of, I will run up to them and just like geek out and just talk about that for hours. You often get so lost in thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings. Maybe I'd have to do a slight disagree with that. You try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox. I would have to agree because every time I see an email, I have to... oh, speaking of which... Find it easy to stay relaxed and focused even when there is some pressure. I would definitely have to say yes, I'm a super laid-back person. In fact, I do my best work when I am under pressure, oddly enough. You do not usually initiate conversations. I would have to say slight disagree, because I can start conversations pretty damn easy, but I don't usually initiate. Well, so that would mean I would have to agree. Damn it. You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity. Possibly. Actually, I would probably say I disagree. I will do a lot of things just out of sheer curiosity. A lot of dumb things, that's for sure. You do not mind being at the center of attention. I would have to agree. Usually I like to put the focus on other people, not because I don't like being the center of attention. I would just rather hear about other people and just put other people in the limelight more than myself. You consider yourself more practical than creative. Oh, I am definitely not a very logical, practical person. I'm definitely more creative. People can rarely upset you. Yep. Your travel plans are usually well thought out. Yes. I am kind of terrified about traveling long distances in terms of driving in a car. I'm okay driving in a car on the highway and stuff, but I get pretty nervous about driving in a busy city, just because I had some interesting moments. I should rephrase and say dangerous moments when I was still learning how to drive, and that definitely put a fear into busy, crowded driving areas for me. It kind of, what's the word for it? I can't think of the word for it, but it's like, I want to say Pavlovian thing, where just if I'm in a crowded spot in the city and I'm driving, I get super tense and nervous because I got scared and something happened to me when I was still learning to drive, so that fear is always kind of stuck with me, but I'm doing better at overcoming that fear. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. I have to hard disagree there. Your mood can change very quickly. I'd say kinda if there's something like super depressing, like one of those, I forget her name, and it's all about sad orphan puppies on the street, I'll get very sad. But when there's a new crazy game announcement, I am super hyped up about that. In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. Here's an interesting one, because the truth is super important. I think you should always tell the truth. But I am a person that would advocate that I should be sensitive of people's feelings, and people should be very sensitive about the source material they're talking about, so this is a difficult one. As much as I like making people happy and making sure they're okay and feeling good within the group, in the way that this question describes, I think the truth would be slightly more important. You rarely worry about your actions affecting other people. Now, this is an interesting one too, because I don't really care what people think of me, but I think of me harshly, if that kind of makes any sense. I don't care what other people think of me, but I care what I think of myself. So that being said, I do kind of, at the same time, think of my actions and how other people think about them. I don't know, it's very wishy-washy what I just described. I think generally I would have to disagree to that. Your work style is closer to random energy spikes than to a methodical and organized approach. Definitely random energy spikes. You are often envious of others. Yes and no. No, generally, because I'm okay with, I guess myself and self-worth. I think that's how I would best describe it if I used it in the right way. But there are a lot of times where I'm like, man, I wish I was taller, or man, I wish I was sexier like that dude. No homo, but you get what I'm saying. So I guess in the case of this question, just in terms of just generally, I would have to say no. An interesting book or a video game is often better than a social event. Another interesting one, I really like video games, as you can tell, but social events are also very fun to go. So I think, for me, actually, I'd have to say social events are probably better because, yeah, you can play, like, the video game you've been wanting to play forever and it just came out, which is exciting, and, you know, in that term, I would say, screw people, I would want to play this video game, but honestly, if I had my closest friends and we all go road trip somewhere, I would think that would clearly be a new release for a video game. And hey, maybe they want to play the new video game, so that's even better. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. So the key word I think here is project. Project to me means like a big group thing, like a group project. I do believe it's good to have flexibility, but in general, I think it is probably better to have a plan than not. Yep, you rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas. Yeah. You often find yourself lost in thought when you're walking in nature. Yes, even definitely when I'm just not walking in nature. If I'm like in school, or if I was in school, I would definitely get lost in my own thoughts just sitting there. If someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. So I don't exactly email too much, but I'm going to replace email with texting, because that's kind of the same thing. So if someone does not respond to your text quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. No, I usually, here's my rule on texting. If I think a conversation is like lively and like it's going well, then that usually for me means a text between every half an hour. If it goes like 45 minutes to an hour before someone texts me, then I think that they are busy and they can't get to the text message immediately, or they're, yeah, exactly like that. So if someone does not respond to your text quickly, you start worrying if you just said something wrong. No, because I would think that they are busy and they have something to do. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart. I would absolutely agree to that. You do not let other people influence your actions. Here's another interesting one for me personally. Growing up, I had a lot of great people older than me that influenced me more than normal people. I got so attached to people that I kind of became a sidekick to them in some sorts. I was like a Robin to their Batman, and even still today, I feel like I am a sidekick in my own life story, if that makes any sense. So, yes, but I've kind of grown out of that. I've definitely been able to grow and mature more so I can make my own decisions depending on how I think. But even though I still did that as a child, I can't deny that that's still like a building block of what I did, or I still do today. So in general, I would have to slightly disagree to that. Your dreams tend to focus on real world and its events. That might be a split. I'm gonna have to do a split for that one. Can I? Oh wait, no, it's already split. I guess I'll just leave that one blank because that's a very good split for me on that one. It does not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities at your new workplace. See, I've said that I'm a very social person, but I'm pretty sheepish when I'm surrounded in a environment where you have to interact with people. Like, if I was at a party, let's just say, and it was just kind of, I knew one friend that brought me to the party and just like a bunch of other random people, I would be okay, I'd be socializing with everyone, but I don't know, in certain situations like a new workplace, I become very sheepish and it takes me a good like 6 months to really kind of open myself up to that. So that's the key word here is workplace. So it does not take you much time to get involved in social activities at your workplace. And it does not take you, so that's already confusing enough. I would have to say slight disagree to that. You are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. See, this one I'm also kind of split because I definitely plan a lot of things in my mind, but I'm also a natural improviser, I would say more over than a careful planner. Mostly because my plans suck, so I have to improvise all the freaking time. So I'll have to agree with that. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Yes, I would definitely agree to that. You enjoy going to social events that involve dress-up or role-play activities. Definitely. I love dressing up fancy. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. Yep. You would rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan. No, I think a plan is definitely better than having an improvised plan. Wait, that made no sense. You are a relative, reserved, and quiet person. No, I'd have to disagree to that. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but unperforming employees. Oh, remember this question. This question sucks. Since if it says if you had a business, meaning you are a business, and in the context of this, I would imagine a small business owner, I would really have to fire them, even though they're like my best friend, if they were not performing well. I mean, since it is my small business, I really have to think a lot more critically on every step that I take. I would have to fire them. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. I think way too much about that. Logic is usually more important than the heart when it comes to making important decisions. Yes, because I have, I kind of grew up dumb, in a sense. I grew up with, I was a B student, like, in terms of grades and report cards, so I wasn't too dumb, but, I still consider myself pretty dumb, and so I have a huge amount of respect to really intelligent people, but making important decisions compared to the heart, it depends on what the question is. If it's like, my parents don't want me to marry this person, yeah, obviously you should marry them even if it's not logically right. Like, they could be, I don't know, and don't twist my words around here, but they could be like a bum, but you love them, then obviously you want to follow your heart. But if it's like a business decision, like your business is going under, but you love it, but it's costing you money, then I think the logical choice is to let go of the business. That's a tough one. I think the way this question is referring to itself is just, the keywords are important decisions. So I think of that as like important life decisions, moreover than like heart decisions, emotional decisions. So I would have to agree that you should be more logical about that. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. That's a weird question. That's just a weirdly worded question, but I would have to agree slightly because I'm more of a go-with-the-flow, fluent, improvised person. Your friend is sad about something that you are likely to offer emotional support that suggests ways to deal with the problem. Definitely, I'm definitely not a good person for advice. Sometimes I am able to come up with some good advice out of my ass, but mostly it's just emotional support. You rarely feel insecure. I kind of suffered a little bit with low self-esteem earlier, and there are traces of that still, kind of. I mean, you always don't feel your best, or you know what I'm saying, so... But rarely feel insecure? I'd have to disagree to that. You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it. if I really put my heart and mind to it, then I have no problem sticking with a timetable, but I've been proven wrong several times before. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. I would have to... yeah, I'd have to disagree. I think teamwork is way more important than being right, which... that's an interesting question too. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by facts or not. You know, this is another weird question, but I think I would have to agree just because I am a huge advocate of respecting everyone regardless of what they like, what they dislike. You know, it's just... I'm all about looking at things at different angles and different viewpoints. That would be a big worded description of kind of what I stand for. That probably is the description of what I stand for. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. Depends on who I'm with. I probably have to say yes because I've had numerous times where I had people over at my place and we've hang out and then they say goodbye and then I'd have to go to sleep because it'd be late and then I couldn't go to sleep because I was so happy about the day and time that we spent. You frequently misplace your things. I would say generally yes, but lately I've done a pretty good job with that. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. Maybe, it depends on the context. And I have my good days and my bad days, so I think... but I'm a very emotionally led person, so I think I would have to agree to... No, I'd have to go straight in the middle. I'd have to go straight in the middle for that one. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. Being with, having a YouTube channel and, like, just seeing all these other crazy, amazing YouTube creators, it really makes the gears turn in my head. So, lately, and I would say ever since I started YouTube, yes, my mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. You would not call yourself a dreamer. I would call myself a dreamer. Oh, wait. Yeah, I would disagree that I would call it... you would not call yourself a dreamer. I would disagree. Okay. This shows how smart I am. I get tripped up on stupid questions like these just because of the not... and then... oh boy. You usually find it difficult to relax when you're talking in front of many people. Yes, I've done theater and plays and speech in... like in my high school and like all growing up I was in plays. I think my earliest play that I was in I was like 6 years old, so I am definitely a performer and I definitely have no problem interacting with people in front of a large group of people. Generally speaking, you rely more on your experiences than your imagination. So me right now, I really don't have a whole lot of life experience. I still live in the same house that I grew up with. I went to college at a community college that was pretty close to where I live, so I think I don't have very much life experience, so I definitely have more imagination in my life. You worry too much about what other people think. Now this is a question that was kind of what we had before, so I would have to disagree about that. If the room is full, you stay close to the walls, avoiding the center. Maybe? That's also a very, like... That's kind of a weird question as well, at least for me personally. I guess I'd have to disagree. I'd be between the wall and the center of the room. That's how middle I am on that. You have a tendency to procrastinate until there is not enough time to do everything. I would say yes. In school, I would always procrastinate to the last second to do my homework, but again, like I said before, when I'm under pressure, that is the best time for me to get things done, and also like it brings out the pressure in a sense of me to perform well, and usually I'd say 90% of the time, 95% of the time, that is my best work when I'm under pressure. But the key word here is not enough time to do everything. If I procrastinate, I usually plan out everything to be able to get everything. So... no, I guess? No, that'd have to be in the middle for that. How oddly worded that one is. That'd definitely be in the middle. You feel very anxious in stressful situations. Anxious, by my definition, I think of it as excited and nervous at the same time in stressful situations. The key words is, for my definition, is excited and nervous, which that's definitely what happens if I'm in a stressful situation. Although I'm pretty good at managing stress. I'm very good at managing stress. So I guess I'd have to disagree to that, oddly enough. Do you believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful? Absolutely. 100%. It is. I think it is much better to be loved than to be feared. Absolutely. You have always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things, e.g., in books, art, and movies. I am a nerd, so yes. You often take initiative in social situations. I'd say generally, yeah. So, with that in mind, let's see what my results is, or let's see if I get the same result as I did last time, not looking. Hey, I did! I got the personality type of the protagonist, which is ENFJ-A. That is a psychological, like literally a psychological study thing. It's like 4 squares, and inside those squares are 4 more squares. So we have for like mind, I'm 59% extroverted. Energy, I'm 80% initiative. Nature, I'm a very feely person. Tactics, judging? Really? Okay, well, that's fair. And identity is I'm assertive. Really? Is that what I got last time? Interesting. Okay, so basically the protagonist, and it even like describes like how you react to people, what protagonist people, how they react to other people, what they do in situations, people that are like examples of protagonists. And then you on this side, I know you can't see my mouse because of the weird settings I have for my recording thing right now, but over here, you can click on these tabs and it shows you like what your romantic relationships are, what your friendships are like, how you grew up, and what you would take and give to a child, and just all these other things you just see here. And I'm not gonna go through all of them and read all of them. Basically, what the protagonist is, since I've already read through this once, is I'm a very supportive person. Protagonist people, they are the support people. They want to give all the support to someone and make sure protagonist people feel their best when they see someone succeed and when they see someone happy because they helped influence them. And that is 100% me to the T. Some weaknesses that protagonists have are when something doesn't go their way, or if they try to help someone and it kind of just crashes and burns and they get really depressed. And that's not me necessarily, but in general, like overtone lined, yes, that is kind of me. I definitely feel sad when I can't help someone that needs help, that I want to help, and that definitely brings me down. But yeah, I implore you to try this test, because this test is very, very interesting, and you definitely get to see a window of who you are, because it's very interesting to see. It's very interesting to have someone or something tell you who you are, and it gives you like an outside perspective of who you are, telling yourself who you are. And I think that is a very interesting perspective, and you learn a lot about yourself. You learn about like some things that you need to figure out for yourself and some things you need to work on. It's a very interesting test. So I would highly suggest you taking the test. And if you do, please, please, please let me know what you got for your results and comment down below and tell me what you got, because I just absolutely think this is fascinating. So I will definitely put a link of this in the description down below. So anyways, that is all the time I have. So thank you so much for watching me take this test on who I am, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch. If you like this video, I got other videos that are similar to this, although this one was kind of different, and just if you're so inclined, consider subscribing. I would highly appreciate you doing so. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later.